Hi friends, welcome to Income Tax Law Update. Here we are with 25 important income tax case law of the year 2021 highlights. First, automatic vacation of the stay granted by Income Tax Appellate Tribunal after expiry of the 365 days is unconstitutional, held by the Supreme Court in DCIT versus Pepsi Foods Ltd. Supreme Court rules that Income Tax Appellate Tribunal has no power to recall its order even if submission were filed on merits, held in the CIT versus Reliance Telecom Limited. BCCI isn't engaged in the commercial activities as funds generated from IPL are used for promoting cricket, held by the tribunal and the Board of the Control for Cricket in India versus PCIT. The Delhi High Court quashes all reassessment notices issued under the old provision, held in the case of the Mon Mohan Kohli versus ACIT. iPad may have some computing function but isn't a computer for higher depreciation, held in Kohinoor India Private Limited versus ACIT by tribunal. ITAT defines the meaning of the set aside and direct that the assessing officer can't do fresh assessment if assessment order was set aside by Income Tax Appellate Tribunal, held in the Jaya Prakash versus ITO. Karnataka High Court held that non-deduction of the tax on the purchase of the asset cannot take away the right to claim depreciation, held in the PCIT versus Tally Solution Private Limited. Section 50C is not applicable on the transfer of leasehold right in land and building, held by Delhi Tribunal in the case of Noida Cyber Park Private Limited versus ITO. Mumbai Tribunal held that no denial of the leave travel concession exemption even if travel is not undertaken through shortest route, held in the SBI versus ACIT. Allahabad Tribunal held that the assessing officer can't import the definition of the relative from section 56 to invoke section 40A subsection 2 of the income tax. Mumbai Tribunal held that gain received on the personal loan due to forex fluctuation is a capital receipt not liable to tax. Mumbai Tribunal held in the case of Aditya Balkrishna Shroff versus ITO. Hyderabad Tribunal held that the assessing officer rightly taxed fake agricultural income disclosed by a student in ITR to get an educational loan, held in the case of the Talluri Vijay Rahul versus ITO. Hyderabad Tribunal held that the amendment by the Finance Act 2021 disallowing employees' contribution to ESIPF is applicable prospectively, held in the Salzgitter Hydraulics Private Limited versus ITO. Bombay High Court held that assessee can raise contention before the Income Tax Appellate Tribunal without filing cross objection on issues related to question of the law, held in the Peter Walls versus CIT. Madras High Court held that the assessing officer can't recover taxes from the assessee if tax deducted on his income wasn't deposited by the deductor, held in the Ashok Kumar B. Chawatia versus JCIT. Mumbai Tribunal held that section 24 or B does not mandate possession of the property to claim a deduction of interest on housing loan, held in the Abizar Fazulwai versus CIT. Kolkata Tribunal held that the CSR expenses incurred by making donation are eligible for deduction under Section 80J held in the JMS Mining Private Limited versus PCIT. Mumbai Tribunal held that the set-off of losses couldn't be denied just because assessment of year in which loss was suffered is pending, held in the self-drilling Ron Top Mayor Limited versus DIC. Mumbai Tribunal held that the assessing officer can't disregard transaction just because it result in tax advantage to the assessee, held in the Michael E Desa versus ITO. Surat Tribunal held that sum reflected in Form 26As can't be taxes unless it was established that the assessee was the actual beneficiary, held in the Dr. Swati Mahesh Vinchurkar versus DCIT. Supreme Court held that the CBDT considering modification in the faceless appeal scheme 2020. For the Delhi Tribunal held that the furnishing of the written submission cannot be interpreted that assessee has waived off his right to be heard in Sukhvinder Palsi versus ITO. Bombay High Court held that the interest paid by a builder on failure to construct a flat is compensatory in nature, which is out of the purview of Section 194A of Income Tax Law, held in the Senath Rajkumar Sarode versus State of Maharashtra. Mumbai Tribunal held that the ITAT quashes revisionary order initiated on the basis of the Cyrus Mistry allegation against Tata Trust, held in the Sir Dorabji Tata Trust versus DCIT. Ahmedabad Tribunal held in the case of Reach Paints Limited versus ITO no Section 68 edition if accounts are manipulated by bogus entries without any actual flow of cash. Thank you so much for watching this update.